Angry Spork here with yet another installment of Taking Issue with Batgirl Redemption Road. A fight between Batgirl, Ravager, and Mark against an army of David Kane's assassin daughters wasn't quite going the way Deathstroke wanted, so he blew the building up with the army inside. Such a wacky so-and-so. The trio managed to survive, but ended up going their own ways. Cassie, through listening devices, managed to pick up a conversation between Deathstroke and David Kane, her father, and he was none too happy to hear his army was gone. To put their killer-for-hire business on the map, he would have to kill their next target himself. And Cassie eventually put the pieces together and found out just who that target was. Oracle.
Issue 5's cover kinda looks like Nightwing, Batman, and Robin are trying to get Batgirl to go to the dentist, and she really doesn't want to go. It actually starts with Nightwing keeping Batgirl from entering the Batwing, despite Bats thinking he's paranoid, which sounds super ironic when you think about it. Grayson isn't letting Cass fly off after everything that's happened. She doesn't really let him decide, though, kicking him off and launching the plane out of the cave intent on killing her dad before he kills Barbara, thus completing her secret mission and letting Batman and the others decide what to do with her afterwards. Nightwing's hitched a ride, though, and breaks through the glass with an Eskrima-stick. After some swerving, Cass manages to loosen his grip on the wing, and he falls. Deploying a parachute, he calls Batman, telling him what's happened, and that despite the beacons on the plane, he planted a mini-tracker on Cassandra.
You knew he had a chute ready to go, right, Cassie? Right?
We see Nightwing's tracker tossed from the plane, and Batgirl narrating that he was right not to trust her given what he knows about Deathstroke and her father. She continues, later, how Dick may think she's under their influence, but it's really all about a mission no one else can share. And that is when Batman orders her to land, piloting a much, much bigger plane, while Robin reminds him that they don't know the whole story. They try to force Batgirl to land, but her smaller plane is also quicker, and she maneuvers behind them using the Batwing's weapons to disable one of the larger plane's wings. Heck of a thing to build into your plane when you hate guns. The dynamic duo have a rough landing as their ally takes off, Tim pointing out that the shots weren't meant to kill, but Bruce seems to have had enough of making excuses for Cassie. Manning Bat ATVs, or BATVs, or BATVs, whatever, they follow by land, heading west after the Batwing's beacon. It's not long before they're just outside Las Vegas, and Tim cracks that she might be going to see Blue Man Group, a joke that Batman doesn't much care for at the moment. They locate the Batwing in the distance, Batman telling his sidekick to stay awake in case she's hiding, but I guess he was planning to nap while searching the plane. Anyway, she's long gone, so they send the plane back to the cave on remote, intending to pick up her trail in Vegas. What they don't notice is a civilian-clothed Cassie on the bus they pass, headed for Platinum Flats.
Oh, Cassandra, you've fallen so far you've resorted to public transportation.
Cassandra arrives at her destination in the neighboring state of California, so imagine it's been a few hours. The hit on Oracle is happening that night, so after reiterating that her dad will be forced to do the hit himself, she intends to wait for Kane to arrive. She walks into a building owned by, and the new base for, the Birds of Prey, called Clock Tower Systems.
Save the Clock Tower Systems! Save the Clock Tower Systems!
She sees Barbara and Charlotte Gage Radcliffe, aka Misfit, but avoids contact, not wanting to compromise the lure for Kane. Based on how well she knows Babs, Cassie figures the building has several security measures, like a special magnetic keycard for the top floor and sensors to detect tampering with cables. Other floors aren't quite set up yet, but Kane would likely have to assume they are. The floor below is possible, but risks exposure. The stairs don't access Oracle's floor, just go straight to the roof. The only other option is from a distance. Cassie hits the roof of a neighboring building, noting that her dad will want to see a body, so he won't use explosives that would hinder that kind of confirmation. She pinpoints the kitchen, where Barbara would have to go sooner or later, and in full view to confirm a kill.
Here's looking at you, deduced murder scenario.
Back ground level, a fatigued Cassie contemplates what will be left for her after Kane's death. Dark clouds gather in the sky as she sees Mark across the street. They share a mission, but only Cassandra is concerned about who would get hurt in seeing it through. She tries to talk, but Mark isn't interested. As it begins to rain, Cassie implies that they could fight out in the open where Kane would see, or somewhere more private. Mark follows her into an alley where she's greeted by two surprise punches, Cassie's fist, and the fact that they're sisters according to a blood test. Probably should have just stuck with the thing about the blood, but hey, that's me. And at no point is it asked or explained how the angry red hashtag here knew enough of the same details as Cassie about Kane's target to have this impromptu meeting at all. As a sister, Cassandra wants to deal with Kane for the both of them, but Mark isn't entirely convinced of their blood relation. She sees Cassie as less a sister and more in her way, exemplified when Mark throws a knife at her.
These two remind me of my nieces, in that I wouldn't be surprised if a certain one of them threw a knife at someone's head.
Cass catches both the knife and a kick to the face, preferring if they could just be a family. Mark knocks her down and walks away, leaving her vulnerable to a slash at her Achilles tendons. Ow! You'll walk again. Well, not on her tiptoes she won't. Cassie says she's going to finish business with Kane and then return to help Mark, who tells her not to bother. She's not found a sister, only made an enemy, now and forever. While a painful turn of events for Cassie, she still has her mission. A series of panels show David Kane assemble a sniper rifle, looking through the scope and finding his target, Barbara Gordon. His view is suddenly obstructed by Batgirl, standing before him on a splash page as thunder roars in the background. Really good timing.
Quick question. Have you two tried family counseling? Well, tune in next time to see if they do that or just punch each other. My money's on the punching.